You know, we spend years organizing closets and basements and other parts of our home, but what about our digital lives? AARP says many older Americans are leaving important files offline that could cause headaches for their families a little bit later down the road. The survey found that 66% of adults at the age of 50 and older say technology enriches their lives, helps them manage money, stay connected, and even support their health. But AARP has also discovered that more than half have not saved vital documents digitally. That includes like driver's license, health insurance policies, home policies, and 34 cited privacy concerns as a top barrier to adapting to the new technology. Let's look into this hesitancy with Tom Kamber. He is the executive director of the Older Adult Technology Services for AARP. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Thanks for having me.
All right, what does your research show about older Americans actually feel, how do you feel about adapting to new technology?
Well, we've got two sides to that coin here. We've got, on the one hand, a lot of people using the technology in general. They're really flocking to using these new tools, whether it's social media or online shopping, as we were talking about earlier today. But the problem is that a lot of people are not taking care of what we would call house cleaning. It's passwords, it's settings, it's organizing your documents. It's all that stuff that we know we should do it, but we kind of always put it off to another day. We're finding that's really where the problem lies.
So you see a generational difference within the 50-plus community when it comes to embracing this technology?
Absolutely. As we get older, you know, there are generational features here because we didn't grow up with this technology as younger people. We have to spend a little bit of extra time learning it as we get older, and we don't have the reinforcement from, you know, maybe the job that you have or even younger folks in college or their friends. So you have to take a few minutes and do it and actually go to a website and do it, which is what we're here to set up and help people do.
So those of us who are over 50 years old, you know, what is it about technology that we just don't want to be a part of it?
Well, it's not true that we don't want to be a part of it. It's just that it's different for people. You know, for example, when we hit 60 or get a little bit older, we become targets for a lot of fraud and scams. Mm-hmm. It is, you know, just a feature of modern life that people are trying to get at us a lot. And so we have to be a little bit more thoughtful about how to use the technology so that we're protected. So one of the things we're teaching people to do right now is update their passwords and learn how to use password managers. If you're using a password that you've been using for the last 5 years, it's probably gotten out there and somebody's picked up on it, and now you're vulnerable. So you have to spend a little bit of time every year fixing things like password managers, app settings, and things like that. So a lot of older people are a little bit, you know, sometimes they're not reluctant to use the technology. It's just a matter of making sure they're supported and making sure people use it in a way that's really relevant for their lives right now.
Are they getting frustrated or something with trying to learn that, or is it that they really need to learn on an ongoing basis?
They need to learn on an ongoing basis. I'm sure that you have an older relative or friend that's asked you about technology sometimes, and it creates a kind of a social dynamic where if they don't know the basic thing that everybody seems to be using, maybe it makes them look bad in the family if they ask, like, what is Facebook, when everybody's already using Facebook, right? So people get a little reluctant to ask questions, but we can really address that by being more aware of the fact that not everybody experiences technology the same way, and making sure that people have a chance to learn it in a supportive way. We're a nonprofit organization. We're affiliated with AARP, and we provide all our programs for free for anybody over 50. That just makes it a lot easier for people to ask questions and get online and get that support.
Yeah. What are the warning signs, or what are some of the warning signs that older adults should be watching out for that could mean their personal information may be compromised?
Well, the big warning sign really is about how prepared you are. You'll know if your bank calls up and says, you know, is this an unauthorized, expenditure, or the other big warning sign could be on the health side. Maybe there's an illness that you're feeling that may be coming on, or people, as we get older, we're at risk for dementia, we're at risk for a lot of things. And so the warning signs in this scenario are really about how long have you been putting this stuff off. We created a new website specifically to help people get ahead of the curve on this. It's at seniorplanet.org/digital house cleaning. We're for free. We don't charge for any of this. We just put a series of trainings online with 5 different steps that people can take to get at those challenges ahead of when you might have a crisis.
So you just go to that website and you can watch the training right there. Give us that website one more time.
Absolutely. It's at seniorplanet.org/digital Digital house cleaning. And if you go there, you'll find for free, it's real easy, and it's all designed for people over 50. We work with AARP on this as well, to make sure that you have 5 steps that you can take to get yourself organized. And really, it relieves you of the stress that maybe there's stuff you forgot to look at. So we look at app permissions. A lot of those apps that you put on your phone, they're tracking you, they're selling your information. We teach you how to restrict that and limit it to what you want. We teach you to update your passwords and use password managers, look at your social media settings, and then finally there's all those critical documents, the health documents and the financial documents. How do you store those, and how do you use even a more modern tool called digital vaults to make sure you have better security and more sharing options for when you're going to need other people in your family or your care community to take care of you.
Tom, I think you got about 100 people that just moved up in their seat just a little bit there. What's the one thing you want them to know in 30 seconds real quick of why this is so important?
The one thing I want people to know is these are the things you put off until tomorrow, and when tomorrow happens, it's too late. So when you get done listening to the station today, take a minute, go to seniorplanet.org/digitalhousecleaning, and just check it out. Give it a start, so that once you get started with these things, you'll see that it's easy. It's actually not that difficult, and it's kind of fun to do it together with a nonprofit like us, so that you can get supported while you're through it. There's even a hotline you can call that's right there on the website.
Tom Kamber, thanks so much for your insight today. Thanks so much for that information, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.